Jai Jai Radhe Jai Jai Shyam Jai Jai Shri Vrindavandam. Oh, Haribol. Hare Krishna, everyone. So we are continuing to read teachings of Lord Chaitanya by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And this is Shravanam Diaries podcast. I'm your host, Sulalita Devidasi. We've been reading such beautiful, beautiful descriptions of the beauty of Kṛṣṇa and the glories of devotional service, and involuntarily or inevitably we're transformed to the mood of Vrindavan. And it's I was remembering our recent trip to Vrindavan. It's something unforgettable, and it's very wonderful that we can remain in Vrindavan with our heart by reading this transcendental literature. So let's continue chapter number 11, Service to the Lord. Yes. One second. Yes. So, generally, people come into the association of devotees to mitigate some material wants, but the influence of a pure devotee frees a man from all material desires by enabling him to relish the taste of devotional service. Devotional service is so nice and pure that it purifies the devotee, and he forgets all material ambitions as soon as he engages fully in the transcendental loving service of Kṛṣṇa. A practical example is Dhruva Maharaj, who wanted something material from Kṛṣṇa and therefore engaged in devotional service. When the Lord appeared before Dhruva as four-handed Vishnu, Dhruva told him, "My dear Lord, because I engaged in your devotional service with great austerity and penances, I am now seeing you, whom even great demigods and sages have difficulty seeing. Now I am pleased, and all my desires are satisfied. I do not want anything else. I was searching for some broken glass, but instead I have found a great and valuable gem." Unquote. Thus, Dhruva Maharaj expressed his full satisfaction and refused to ask anything from the Lord. The living entity transmigrating through 8,400,000 species of life is sometimes likened to a log gliding downstream on the waves of a river. Sometimes, by chance, a log washes up on the shore and is thus saved from being forced to drift further downstream. In this regard, there's a nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.38.5 that encourages every conditioned soul. Quote, "No one should be depressed by thinking he will never be out of the clutches of matter, for there is the possibility of being rescued, exactly as it is possible for a log floating down a river to come to rest on the bank." Unquote. This fortunate opportunity was also discussed by Lord Chaitanya. Such fortunate incidents are considered the beginning of the decline of one's conditioned life, and they occur if one associates with the pure devotees of the Lord. By associating with pure devotees, one develops attraction for Kṛṣṇa. There are various types of rituals and activities, some of which lead to material enjoyment and others to material liberation. But if a living entity takes to these ritualistic activities by which pure devotional service to the Lord is developed in the association of pure devotees, then his mind naturally becomes attached to devotional service. In Srimad Bhagavatam 10.51.53, Muchukunda states, Bhava pavargo brahmato yada bhavej janasya tarhyachyuta satsamagama satsangamo yarhi tadaiva sadgatau paravareshe tvai jayate rati. Quote, My dear Lord, while traveling in this material world through different species of life, a living entity may progress toward liberation. But only when he gets the chance to come in contact with a pure devotee, can he actually be liberated from the clutches of material energy and become a devotee of you, the personality of Godhead. Unquote. When a conditioned soul becomes a devotee of Kṛṣṇa, the Lord, by his causeless mercy, trains him in two ways. He trains him from without as a spiritual master, and he trains him from within as the super soul. Hare Krishna. One moment. Honestly, this training from within and without, I think many times we underestimate the training from within. Because oftentimes we hear, I want to say get trained, but we hear, let's say, that, we should not be on the mental platform, anything that we hear from outside is bona fide, anything we hear from the inside is bogus, right? Because we are on the mental platform and devotees around us are pure devotees. But interestingly, we just now read that by associating with pure devotees we develop attraction for Kṛṣṇa, and the training we get from outside, from the spiritual master. The spiritual master trains the devotees, and the devotee is trained from within by the super soul. So we should not think that within our heart there's only anarthas and the evil mind which is trying to sabotage our spiritual life and destroy our bhakti-lata bija. We should also understand, or we should be more aware of the fact that there is Kṛṣṇa in our heart, there is super soul in our heart who is also trying to train us according to TLC right here that we just read. And I mentioned in the beginning of the episode our trip to Vrindavan recently, and I remember one of the days I was reading Krama Sandarbha, and there was a verse quoted that our body is just like a pipala tree, it's like a tree, and within that tree there's two birds. One is the soul, and the other one is the super soul. So naturally the super soul is watching us, upadrashtanumantascha, he's always witnessing whatever we do, and it would not be illogical or unreasonable if the Lord would want to say something also, especially if the devotee is like, I want to serve you, and the Lord is right there sitting on the same tree with us, and it's natural that he'll be like, I can help you, Hare Krishna. It's a topic that we don't always discuss because it's a very confidential topic. Every person has his own confidential relationship with the Lord, so But I find it funny how sometimes we as devotees go into extreme, saying that whatever comes from within is necessarily some internal demon or some mental platform. No, the Lord is also training us. So, he trains him from without as the spiritual master, and he trains him from within as the super soul. In this connection, there is a very nice verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.29.6, in which Uddhava says to Lord Kṛṣṇa, quote, "My dear Lord, even if someone lives as long as Brahma, he would still be unable to express his gratitude to you for the benefits derived from remembering you. Out of your causeless mercy, you drive away all inauspicious conditions for your devotee. You drive away all inauspicious conditions for your devotee, expressing yourself from outside as the spiritual master and from inside as the super soul." Unquote. If one somehow or other gets in touch with a pure devotee and thus develops a desire to render devotional service to Kṛṣṇa, he gradually rises to the platform of love of Godhead and is thus freed from the clutches of the material energy. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.20.8, where the Lord says, quote, "For one who out of his own accord becomes attracted to topics of my activities, being neither allured nor repelled by material activities, following the path of devotional service leading to the perfection of love of God becomes possible." Hare Krishna. Unquote. However, it is not possible to achieve the stage of perfection without being favored by a pure devotee or a Mahatma, a great soul. Without the mercy of a great soul, one cannot even be liberated from material clutches, and what to speak of rising to the platform of love of God. This is also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.12.12, in a conversation between Jadabharata and King Rahugana, a ruler of the Sindhu and Sauvira provinces. When King Rahugana expressed surprise upon seeing Bharata's spiritual achievements, Bharata replied, "Rahuganaita tapasa nayati nache jaya nirvapanad grihadva na chandasa naiva jalagni suryair vina mahatpada rajobhishekam." Quote, "My dear Rahugana, no one can attain the perfected stage of devotional service without being favored by a great soul, a pure devotee. No one can attain the perfectional stage simply by following the regulative principles of scriptures, or by accepting the renounced order of life, or by prosecuting the prescribed duties of household or life, or by becoming a great student of spiritual science, or by accepting severe austerity and penances for realization." Unquote. Similarly, when the atheist Hiranyakashipu asked his son Prahlad Maharaj how he had attained such a devotional attitude, the boy replied, quote, "As long as one is not favored by the dust of the feet of pure devotees, one cannot even touch the path of devotional service, which is the solution to all the problems of life, all the problems of material life." Unquote. Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.32. Thus, Lord Chaitanya told Sanatana Goswami that all scriptures stress association with pure devotees of the Lord. The opportunity to associate with a pure devotee of the Lord is the beginning of one's complete perfection. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.18.13, where it is stated that the facilities and benedictions one achieves by associating with a pure devotee are incomparable. They cannot be compared to anything, neither elevation to the heavenly kingdom, nor liberation from the material energy. Lord Kṛṣṇa also confirms this in a most confidential instruction in the Bhagavad Gita 18.64-65, wherein he tells Arjuna, "Sarva guhya tamam bhuya shrinu me paramam vachaha ishtasi me dridham iti tato vakshyami he hitam tato vakshyami te hitam manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi satyam te pratijane priyosi me." Quote, "My dear Arjuna, you are my affectionate friend and relative, and therefore I am imparting to you this most confidential knowledge for your benefit. Just become always mindful of me. Become my constant devotee. Become my constant worshipper, and become a soul surrendered to me. Only in this way will you be sure to achieve my abode. Because you are my very dear friend, I hereby disclose to you this most confidential knowledge." Unquote. Such a direct instruction from Kṛṣṇa is more important than any Vedic injunction or regulative service. Wow, that's a very powerful statement, right? There are certainly many Vedic injunctions, ritualistic and sacrificial performances, regulative duties, meditative techniques, and speculative processes for attaining knowledge. But Krishna's direct order, just give up everything else and become my devotee, my worshipper, should be taken as the final order of the Lord and should be followed. If one is simply convinced of this direct order of the Lord in the Bhagavad Gita, becomes attached to his devotional service, and gives up all other engagements, one will undoubtedly attain success. To confirm the statement in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.20.9, Kṛṣṇa says that one should follow other paths of self-realization only as long as one is not convinced of his direct order to become his devotee. It is the conclusion of the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita that the direct order of the Lord is to give up everything and engage in devotional service. Firm conviction that one should execute the order of the Lord is known as faith. One who has faith is firmly convinced that simply by rendering devotional service to Lord Kṛṣṇa, all all other activities are automatically performed, including ritualistic duties, sacrifices, yoga, and the speculative pursuit of knowledge. In fact, devotional service to the Lord includes everything. Okay. We're going to stop here for today at this very important and strong and all-inclusive point. Devotional service to the Lord includes everything. So thank you so much for tuning in today. The link to this book is in the description. Please check out our website, shravanamdiaries.com. You will find links where to buy all the books that we've read so far. You'll see the list of all the episodes. And you can read these books along with us and share these books to your friend. It will be a very special gift. So, Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.